Hello all you happy plant powered people, welcome to another episode of the Cuckoo Kitchen. Today I'm going to be asking the question, can you make delicious plant milk with just a few oats, a pair of old tights and an empty tin can? The answer is yes, and I'm going to show you how. There are numerous types of plant milk available. Oat milk is my favourite. It seems to work with cereals and in tea and coffee without having too much taste of its own, and also you don't have to think about whether it might affect people with nut allergies. You need a blender. I'm going to use the powerful blender I've got here today because I don't want to over-process it. I find blending for about 30 seconds produces the right result. Any more than that and it can start to get a bit slimy. Once we've blended our water and oats together, we need to filter it. And there are a number of options available. You could buy the Rolls-Royce Deluxe 40-pound nut milk press, which is available on Amazon, which does work really well. And I guess if it's something you're going to do regularly on a daily basis, this might be worth investing in the long term. Nut milk bags are about £5 to £7, and again, they work really well. But I have been so surprised with just how successful my little DIY vegan hack is. And in some ways, I think it's actually easier to use than the nut milk bag, as you'll see in a minute. So let's start with the actual preparation. The recipe is really simple. It's a simple ratio, 1 cup of oats to 4 cups of water. I've found that using really cold water, and of course filtered water as well, is always a good idea. So let's make our own do-it-yourself nut milk filter. Now, I'm not actually sure what kind of denier tights these are. I think I went for the most finest ones I could find, and I haven't worn these before, but I did give them a wash at least twice, which I recommend. I have used these for a few test cycles and they seem to be completely unaffected, so I imagine once you make them, they're going to last for a while. Should say, when you need a tin can to hold the top of it open. You could work it without, but it sort of is a bit difficult to pour it in otherwise. Do make sure that if you're using a tin can that it has a anti-rust coating on it. You need to look for a white plastic coating, or possibly it might be a transparent coating, but it's obviously not just pure metal. I tried with a bean tin can, and I don't know if we can pick that up, but it went rusty really quickly within a couple of days. So forget that. The tights go in, and then you just want to loop it around the top. And then I found, although it works quite well like that, if you've got a couple of plastic elastic bands, then fix those over, and that will just keep that in place. So just to recap, 1 cup of oats. Don't use instant porridge oats. They will go really slimy. They've already been processed and they've got other stuff added to them. Look for organic oats again, and if you're gluten intolerant, there are gluten-free oats available. Then, as I say, I've pre-measured this, and this is about 800 millilitres of cold filtered water. I like my milk a little bit thicker than most people, so I've gone for slightly less water. If I was going for a strict ratio, it would have been about 900 millilitres, but it's also as much as my thing contains. I find about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt just helps to bring out the flavour, and 1 tablespoon of oil helps keep the oat particles in suspension. It makes an emulsion. You can leave that out if you have a problem with it. It still works, but you just may have to make sure you shake it vigorously each time before you use it. So, as I say, don't over blend it. So I'm going to run this for 30 seconds. Okay, that's about right. So, and now we want to strain the liquid through our filter and just dangle it into the container. And I find this makes almost no mess, which the nut milk bag can be a little bit squidgy and sploshy all over the place. Now, I've got also some great recipes that you can make really tasty chocolate milk flavoured with natural flavourings like dates and cocoa, and you don't have to use any sugar. And I'm going to do those as a separate video shortly. So I'm just going to gently squeeze this, and it's quite therapeutic actually. It's a bit like milking a cow. I say that, I haven't actually milked a cow, but I have milked a goat, and this does seem the closest thing to that experience that I've had in the kitchen. So normally I would probably just stand here and let this dribble, but I'm going to give it a squeeze, so it might get a bit messy, but I'm just trying to speed the process up. But as you can see, the tights kind of funnel the liquid. This is kind of the cooking message, that the more food you make yourself, the less packaging that's wasted. And also, I'm filming this during lockdown. If you run out of milk, you don't need to go to a shop, and that's, the less exposure we have at this particular time, the better. So, here we are, we've got about 700 millilitres left. I could keep on straining. And there's still quite a bit left. But it has worked, it's going all over the table. I picked up a bottle on my line that reminds me of one of the old milk bottles that used to be around when I was a child. I'm just decanting this off into the bottle. This will keep in the fridge for 4 to 5 days. And I suggest you give it a shake, as I say, before you use it each time. But, as you will see, there's virtually no residue left in the bottom of the beaker, which shows just how well our tights work. I don't know how long this is going to last for, but I think it's a really viable alternative to nut bagging, especially if it's not something you want to do every day. So, have fun, try it yourself, make your own milk, come back and join me in the Cuckoo Kitchen next time. Do subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.